Hi, everybody, and welcome to Psychic Predictions with Orion Ray. And I'm going to ask Google what date it is, just so you guys know that I'm just not putting things in after the fact, even though on this recording there might be, because most of these were made in 2022. Hey, Google, what is the date?
It's Monday, August 21st, 2023.
Okay, so now I'm going to read you the new prediction. It just came over earlier this week. There, and I just kind of put this in because most people don't have a light purple car. So if you have a light purple car, you need to be really, really careful. You're really at risk, but you have a way of getting out of this. Just be extremely careful, and you're going to be okay. But you're at risk right now. There's also an old tan/brown station wagon looking car. One of those ones like the Brady Bunch or somebody would have had. You have to be really careful. It looks like you're heading eastbound from wherever you're going, so you need to be really, really careful. Okay. Let's see. There's somebody by the name of Deanna, either Whiten or Witten, or Whittingham. It starts with a W-I-T or a W-H-I. T. Let's see. Okay, you're drinking way too much, and you're driving, and you're fixing to have a really big issue if you don't stop. So you have to, stop the drinking and driving right now. Your first name is Deanna. And again, your last name is something like Witten or Whiten or something very similar to that. You're gonna have a W-I-T or a W-H-I-T in the beginning of your last name. Let's see here. Okay. All right, I'm just going to go over some of the predictions, and these are all documented in either text messages or emails that were from 2022 that I remember put on here. Corn crops will fail and shortage will be extreme as temperatures become a problem with droughts. And the government is beginning and continues to sell our corn crops to other countries rather than keeping them here for the U.S. citizens. Next prediction, a 12-pack of soda will hit above $10. This is going to happen by the end of 2023, the beginning of 2024. Next prediction, government begins taking over all sugar, and Bill Gates plans to start controlling this food and sugar and crops to control U.S. citizens. Now, this becomes very, very concerning because he's buying up farmlands, and at the same time he's creating these fake products, fake meats and stuff, and he's going to start using his money and his influence to start controlling everybody's lives. And he's going to try to take away sugar. He's going to literally try to take away our sugar, and the government's going to try to take away our sugar and start trying to enforce these fake meats upon you and these fake food products. And then they're going to start, sending the real stuff over to other countries, and make you suffer, make U.S. citizens suffer. This is really bad, folks. This is really, really bad, and it's going to be really hard to prevent. You need to vote on your correct people. You need to get involved and stop these people like him from being able to take control of your lives, because so far they are successful at doing so. And, they're so busy blaming everything on guns and, this and that, and they're blaming everything on you, They're trying to blame the energy and, the green earth stuff on America. Let me tell you what do you think those other countries use? Are you kidding? Like, compared to some of those countries, like, we're hardly anything. I mean, it's just unbelievable. All the global warming is blamed on us. They're going to try to make Americans suffer. And Bill Gates is behind a huge amount. I mean, look what's happening. Nobody should be allowed to buy farmlands up like that. Nobody should be able to have a conflict of interest creating fake food products and then buying the farmlands. This should be illegal. Folks, you have to get involved. And this prediction was made. Let me look at the date. I have it as August the 24th, 2022. Okay. And this is happening, folks. And like I said, I have it sent over to emails and text messages in proof as to when I have written this stuff. Okay, the next one is an angel will be seen in southern United States, Central and South America. So there's going to be a great big angel that will appear in these areas. This will be soon. Okay, the next one. Government is tagging U.S. citizens, and they're tagging everybody, and they're putting them on whether they're compliant, whether they're passive, assertive, or aggressive. And the, which we all get in trouble for saying the thing that was forced upon you to take, or either you were bullied to lose your job. That was just a test. That was just a test to see who was going to be compliant and what category you were going to be in and who they were going to watch. Yeah, folks, that's just a test. And how many of you didn't pass it? Okay, next one. Concentration camps have been started sometime around the Obama administration. And they're now being extended to hold non-compliant citizens, folks. These are just something I see. I can't say I have proof of it because, again, I'm reading out the predictions, what some of the things I see or know or somehow I've been told, and this is one of them, folks. Okay, the next one's, all of these are important, but there is a serial killer which continues in our western national parks. And this guy is responsible for many, many killings. I don't know if the law has just not linked him up and figured out that, that this is a serial killer, as these people are all found dead in our national parks. What is a serial killer? And this one guy is responsible for a great deal of these killings. And I thought, that, like I said, this prediction was made a year ago, or this information I had was discovered a year ago, and I knew a year ago, and I'm like, surely, I thought by now they would start connecting them. And maybe they have, but they just haven't, released that information. But anyway, I am telling you about it. Anyway, this guy has long brown hair. This guy is thin, and he's like somewhere between 5'9" and 5'11", so he's not some like massive, huge, guy. He's more of a smaller guy and a thin guy, but he's just crazy. He's this psychopath, and just kind of, he shouldn't have the strength that he does, and he does, and he's like this almost like schizophrenic type personality. Yeah, he's really, really crazy. He's about 30 to 40 years old. He will have killed 30 or more people prior to his capture. I don't know when his capture will be. Hopefully they'll start linking this guy up to these killings. And like I said, maybe they already have. My predictions were made a year ago. I haven't followed up on this. But if you're going, out in those national parks, I want you to stay alert, be aware of things. Next prediction. A mobster's head and body will be found pretty soon. Maybe within the next 6 months or so. He would have been killed by the mob. The next one, let's see. There's going to be a massive number of people which, will start passing away. The big first group of people, to that, that receive the things, and, and the group of people that went and, took a bunch of the things. Yeah, this is going to start happening, and, yeah, there's it, hindsight's 20/20. There's nothing we can do about that now. Just stay vigilant in the future, and don't let people force things upon you. You just remember that, your body is precious, and you should treasure your body, and nobody has a right to tell you what to do with your body. I don't care who it is, and what they're trying to tell you to do with it. Ultimately, nobody has a right to tell you to do anything with your own body. And y'all need to step up and be vigilant, Start joining those folks that believe in your belief for your right of freedom. And keep your freedoms, people. That's what we fought these wars for. That's why our ancestors fought these wars, for our freedom. And everyone just takes that freedom for granted. And they're letting these few elite people, or these people that believe they're so elite, and there's just one in particular that, probably who I'm talking about, that is so involved in destroying and forcing upon stuff on your health, whether it be putting something in your body, or telling you what you're going to eat, or taking things away from you. And that's going to include sugar, folks. That is going to include sugar. Okay? This becomes a problem. Next prediction. Putin will be diagnosed with Parkinson's sometime coming up, but that doesn't mean it will go public, obviously. But he will be by his, personal doctors. Let's see. Okay, changing the page here. This was weird because I don't understand what this would mean. And I didn't understand it even when it came to me. It just says, Bush family will be exposed for some major thing. And I just put unknown thing by the end of 2024. I don't know what that means or what it is. Okay, now the next area of this is regarding missing persons. So my first one I have is, I wonder if I should do this in a separate, let me see if I want to do that one in a, no, I guess I'll go ahead and do it now. Missing persons, there's somebody named Carol. Carol, I think the last name is A or the middle name is A. Her body is in the swamplands. It doesn't say what state. There's an Isaac or an I. He's in his 20s, brown hair. He will be discovered. The next one is 7 bodies attached to concrete cylinders will be found in the water. They're all going to be like within a certain area of each other. And I think this is tied, to the mob. And it goes back, a long ways. Goes, way back, back into the 20s and 30s. The next one, Hoffa's body is located in the southern tip of Illinois up to the border, up to border of the lower state. I'm not even sure what that means. In concrete, and I put, they didn't destroy it due to symbolic reasons. Located possibly in a car in concrete. And again, this is a symbolic reason they did this. I don't know when it will be found, but it is going to be found. There's going to be, and this is really scary, we see all the shootings and stuff going on, but there's going to be a poison event on a massive scale. Which is just terrifying, I don't know where it is or what, and I just put there's a poison event soon. I can't see, what it is, and I just put an example. It can be in the medicine, it can be in the air, it can be in the water. Now, this was written in August of 2022, and I think this event was already proven with the train wreck, so this one could have already happened. And again, I can find these that were put into the text messages and emails and show you the dates these were written, but I'm pretty sure that one already happened when the the train wreck happened in Ohio. Okay, and that wasn't a missing persons, that was a prediction. There's a Michelle in Orlando, again back to missing persons. A Florida, a teen missing in the 70s. I put missing in the 70s or 80s. She's near a tall structure. There's grass, and there's water there. Tall structure. And And then there's like a shoreline. I don't know if she's been found yet. I haven't kept up with these. Okay. This is going to be a big one. Your personal rights are going to be taken, and already are. And again, I wrote this back in all of the ones I'm calling out to you are written back in August of 2022. All of your privacy rights, they're being taken, and what they're going to do and are doing is they're going and taking samples from wastewater, and where they were doing it on a public scale, they're going to start doing on an individual scale. So they're going to take that wastewater, and they're going to know everything you're doing, what you have, everything from violation of HIPAA to illegal search and seizure. And so this is happening. Again, I wrote this back in August of 2022. I've already proven this one to be right, but as far as a public level, but this is going to now happen on an individual, personal level. So they're going to go around getting any kind of court order to, illegally get stuff upon you, illegal search and seizure. And, you guys got to get involved. Okay. The next one, there's going to be a UFO discovery and sighting in Canada. This is going to happen in Saskatchewan. I don't know if I can say that right. Anyway, they're going to find, it's not just a sighting, but they're going to find evidence. They're going to find one there that had, I guess it had crashed, years ago. Or maybe it's crashed recently. I don't know. I just know it. They're going to find one. And of course, we'll probably not know unless somebody in the public finds it rather than the government. And you people that are in the public, hey, you know what? Y'all put this on social media. If you ever come across that stuff, let everybody know before you go call the government in. I'm not telling you to go approach it, okay? I don't want you to go touch it or approach it because it could probably kill you. God knows what kind of radioactive, stuff and diseases and, all kinds of stuff that thing would have. But I'm just saying, if you can get it on your film without having to approach it or touch it, go ahead and do that before you start calling the authorities in. There's going to be a major shipwreck found outside of Galveston, a major lost shipwreck found outside of Galveston. That might have already happened. I don't know. It's been a year since I put that. Missing person Freddie or Frederick, buried in mountain terrain. God, I can't read my own writing. That's all I have on that one. I don't know what that means. There's either a Monty or Montega or something like that. Montana, it says Mo something. There's a shallow grave near water. There's a Susie, Susan, Suzanne. It's in a car, in water, in a river. So if anybody's looking for somebody that has that name, if there is a close body of water, like a river, that person could have possibly, been close enough to, and something happened, you need to have maybe some professionals come out and check that river area. Somebody that starts with an R, like Roger, Ralph, Richard, that's also been missing for a while, is in the water within 20 miles from their home. So again, if somebody is missing, somebody that has that name, a name starting with R, it's been missing a while, they are within 20 miles from their home in the water. Somebody with an O, maybe a name, maybe a state, also in water, but near land. This person is of Indian descent. Okay. So I couldn't get much on that because it's really hard to say if that's a state that starts with an O or a missing person that starts with an O. But this person is of Indian descent. And I say Indian meaning American Indian descent. A historical grave will be found on a personal property. And this grave, this person's whose grave this is an important person. Maybe this has already happened. I don't know. If it has, I haven't followed up on it over the last year. But maybe it already happened. Let me see so that's that one. I'm going to see if I have any more to call you out today. Okay, this one's a little scary. Civil war will break out sometime between 2025 and 2027 as Texas, Alaska, South and North Dakota, Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Oklahoma, Kansas, Kentucky, Tennessee, North and South Carolina, Louisiana, all attempt to secede from the Union. The war will be over individual rights and freedoms. Louisiana and Mississippi, it looks like, will be stuck in between this conflict due to their location. It goes on to say it. Bill Gates is the number one factor in the South seceding from the Union. And this goes back to him being the person trying to take your individual freedoms away, and taking the farmlands and taking away your food and, forcing medication on you and forcing stuff to be put in your body and, just telling you what you're going to eat and telling you what you're not going to have and telling you what you're going to do. Basically telling you everything, there is to tell you about your own life. And this is going to be one of the major, if not the reason why a civil war is going to happen, because the government is he's going to start really, throwing that money around, and he's going to start working with foreign leaders who will be also threats against the U.S. And, the politicians are going to start, possibly giving into him. There's going to be a lot of politicians that aren't going to, believe me. But, he's really going to be working for those foreign countries. And, it's really going to be bad. I mean, we will be the ones being told that anything that's real, any real meats, any real anything, all our sugars, everything are going to be taken away from us. And if we want to eat, if we want to survive, we're going to eat their BS foods, their fake, God knows what's in them foods, in their trackers. And they're going to be able to put chips in us people, okay? And I'm going to get into this with a different recording. But these chips, they are going to be able to basically turn you off or turn you on, okay? They're either going to be able to, kill you by selective choice, they're going to be able to infect you with a certain thing or not, or take that certain thing out of your body, depending on who you are, okay? They're going to be able to do everything if they can get that chip into you. And you got to think about how a tracking chip in a dog is put in, right? This is done with people. And they're going to get smaller and smaller. These microchips are going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. And it is against Revelations that if you get a chip, go read Revelations. It's not something I'm just telling you. This was predicted, back in those days, in biblical days. And they saw it coming. And you have to fight against it. You can't let this happen. But they're going to try to force you into a digital currency. And then they're going to start, forcing you, with this chip. And you're not, if you don't get this, they're going to say, well, you can't buy or sell. Well, how are you going to survive? Do you see where I'm going at? So there's got to be a plan to come up with. Start getting those seeds. And this is going to be really hard because, sure, you can get seeds and you can get trees and stuff like that. One, you have to have your own, your own property. It doesn't mean you need a big one. You can have just a house in the city and get that. But then, you got to figure out, well, they're going to be able to monitor your water. They're going to be able to stop your water. These are the things that are just so horrible. So then you're going to have to be able to, be like, well, how am I going to, be able to accumulate the water from the rains? It's so horrible. It's so horrible what, these people and this person is going to be able to do. It's just unbelievable to me, but it's happening, folks. It's happening. Anyway, so a civil war. There's going to be a lot of states trying to secede from the Union. Next one. Okay, all the Catholic persons will side with the Southern Freedom States. So that's going to be a great deal of your people, and it's not going to be just the Catholics in the South. It's also going to be the ones in the North. Let's see. Okay, so it starts in 2024 when in a small space. I didn't put much of this, but there'll be like a small fight in a limited space will begin, and that's kind of like the beginning of this thing. Let's see if there's any more. I think that's about it that I had written down in those 22 minutes. But anyway, I hope I've made you think a little bit about what is coming and how are we all, going to unite and try to handle this. How are we going to, try to keep our freedoms and start to try to, get involved in politics and get involved in the people that are going to keep your personal freedoms. And because all this is going to be attempted, folks. I mean, I can see this clear as day, and when I can see this something that clear, I'm not wrong ever. I'm never wrong, not on something that clear. And everything I've told you about most of what I covered today, especially, the freedoms and the governments and our freedoms affected. This, I'm seeing this very, very clear, and have for over a year. So I'm not going to be wrong on that. I just hope outcomes. I don't see outcomes yet, and outcomes can always change if we do the right things and make the right choices to affect those outcomes. So anyway, stay safe and really consider what I'm telling you. I'm just not making this stuff up, people. I can see this stuff. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, and you guys have a good day. Bye.